So, there's only one question that people should be asking right now if you care about this situation. What has to change? What has to change? We see that people are pissed off enough, scared enough, angry enough, concerned enough that they'll take to the streets, and it's in freezing-ass Minnesota, okay? But this doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon. If anything, the administration seems determined to ramp it up. So, what do we do about it? Norm Coleman, former Minnesota senator, former St. Paul, Minnesota mayor, so unusual local and top-level perspective, joins me right now to discuss. Norm, thank you for taking the time. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on tonight, Chris.
So, you put on the magic hat of being in control. What do you do in this situation to allow, to fulfill the mandate of what the administration says it wants and doing it in a way that the community can tolerate?
Yeah. I tell people I may have senator in front of my name. I have mayor stitched in my underwear. That was a job where you could do things. And so local leaders can actually do things. And you know, Chris, if all you keep doing what you've been doing, the way they say all you get is more of the same, where we're going now is pretty bad. I mean, very impressive, that demonstration out there. It's cold in Minnesota. My wife's home right now with a hairdryer on the pipes in the bathroom because they're frozen and can't flush the toilets. That's Minnesota when it's minus 25 in St. Paul. So people are angry. Can I just say something about ICE officers? I just want to put it out there that they're also dads, that they're doing the job, that they're working in an environment where it is minus 20 degrees. They got rocks thrown at them. They got bottles thrown at them. The governor says they're committing atrocities. The mayor calls them an invasion. They're called Gestapo. There's like, I think, an 8,000% increase in death threats against ICE officers in 2025, 1,347% increase in assaults since 2025. So I just want to put that out there, that we got to kind of reflect on, okay, bad situation, and how do we move forward? And I think, Chris, that's what the mayor should be thinking about. Rather than being on NewsNation, rather than being on Fox, rather than being on CNN, that's what the governor should be thinking about. How do we solve this? And I think there are some ways that you can do that. I mean, we don't need cooling off Minnesota, but how about a 60-day cooling off period, right? Where the governor and the mayor says, you know something, we will allow ICE to execute its detainees in our jails. Because Tom Homan has said, if you allow us to do that, we don't have to do what they call the collateral actions, what you're seeing on the street. So how about testing them? How about kind of seeing if you can live up to their word? We'll give you access to our jail. Let's do a 6-day cooling off period. Let's focus on the jail. Focus on folks we have detainees. You can pick them up. We'll work with you. And then what you heard what Chad Wolf said is, you know, what you saw in Portland, when locals don't work with feds, you've got a problem. And in Minnesota, you got a problem. And so if there was a way for the locals to work for the feds, then test the feds' commitment to step back on collateral action, and maybe we could make progress. The challenge is that sanctuary cities are kind of like a religious symbol for these leaders, and I think they're afraid to step back because they would be crushed by their base. But their job is a mayor. My job was to lessen the tension. My job was to bring people together. I don't see that happening, Chris.
I get it, but Norm, leadership starts from the top, okay? You just had the vice president go there. He wouldn't meet with the governor or the mayor. Let me tell you who would have met with them both. Donald John Trump would have met with them both. And he would have gone in, he would have said, here's a chance to do something. This isn't working for either of us. And I'm not here to flatter the president. I'm saying that that's what a leader does, and that's what he would do, even for all his flaws. The reason that I like your prescription is I don't have any problem with them having access to the jails. That's always bothered me about sanctuary cities. They did that to Obama also in sanctuary cities, by the way. They're the ones who started calling them deporter-in-chief. But there is no trust. They know the administration doesn't just want the bad hombres, Norm. They know the administration's okay with the scenes of them chasing and tackling kids because it looks tough on the brown menace.
And so I would say, first of all, I think Vance had a different mission. I think his mission was kind of what I started off with, to reinforce, lift up the morale of those folks, his employees who are working on the streets, who are getting the crap beat out of them, okay, who are facing very difficult circumstances. So I think that's what his job.
But Vance put him in that situation, Norm.
But the president,
Norm,
in the end,
Norm, you wouldn't direct them like this. You wouldn't say, if you saw this kind of community thing and those kinds of images, you'd say, hold on. I'm setting you guys up for chaos. We got to think about how we're doing this and what we're doing, especially when there are cameras everywhere. They like what they're seeing in these images.
Listen, his comments, they weren't incisive. They weren't. He did his job of kind of reinforcing the guys the men and women on the streets. On the other hand, what you got to get, Chris, you got to get something from the local officials. Something that says, listen, we're looking for an offering.
I don't disagree.
I mean,
I don't disagree.
I'm not hearing an exit. Chris, you had the mayor on. And what did he give you? Oh, we're tough on crime. We're tough on. We get murderers. We get arsonists. We get rapists. And we work with the DEA. We work with the FBI. We work with the ATF. What he wouldn't say is we'll work with immigration. And you can't. In this instance, you got to be able to do that. President Trump is not going to step back. Okay, he's going to go, and he's got the law on his side. So he's not going to step back. And knowing that, as a mayor, I'd be sitting there saying, how do I bring safety, security, kind of rationality back to my city? Maybe I got to take something, do something I wouldn't want to do.
Norm, you're mayor of St. Paul, okay? It's easy to say, I don't like that the protesters came into the church. Okay, it's like an 80-20 issue, all right? But this is also an 80-20 issue. If you're the mayor and your local community people are saying, hold on a second, you're going to allow this guy to be chasing kids and tackling them in the snow and take a 5-year-old kid and have him knock on the door and work on his own parent, who, by the way, is in an asylum process? You're okay with that? You're going to help them do that? You'd say, no, I'm not going to help them do that.
No, but what I'm going to say is right now, our committees, we're being torn apart right now. And God forbid a federal agent gets killed, you'll see military will come in. Something will have to happen. God forbid. God forbid. Okay? So I'd be saying we can't keep doing what we're doing. It's not good for our community. Things are happening in the streets that shouldn't happen in Minneapolis and St. Paul. And there may be a way out of this. And if the way out of that means that we got to cooperate with the federal authorities to work in our jails so they don't have to do collateral action on the street.
That's not the mayor, though.
I'm willing to.
I like that idea, but that's not the mayor.
But
that's not the mayor. That's the governor.
But it's both. When I was mayor, my city attorney used to come into me all the time and lay out a series of legal reasons why I couldn't do something. And I said, Tim, we're actually going to do this. And I turned to my staff and say, get it done. They may or may not have the legal power to do this, Chris, but you talk about this all the time, okay? What is the right thing to say? What's the right thing to do? And if he stood with the governor and they said, you know something, we have to stop the madness that's going on in our streets. We got to stop all this. And if the way to stop it is to give the feds the authority to work in our jails, to step back on sanctuary cities, sanctuary states, give it, again, 60-day cooling off period in a place that's already pretty cool.
I think giving it to the, look, I understand what you're saying. Sanctuary cities are not an 80-20 issue, okay? They're a very controversial thing. Yes, they've been found constitutional. I've always thought that they were controversial. But the issue is, look, what I like is, yeah, you can go in the prisons. If they're bad guys, they're bad guys. We don't want them here anyway. But it's what else is going to happen in the communities, and there's got to be trust or there's no deal. But, Norm, I wish you were in charge of making that deal because it's something that would definitely help enforce the law, but enforce it the right way. Thank you for making the case. Appreciate it.
Great pleasure. Thanks, Chris.
All right, we'll talk again. Best to your wife. I can't believe you got away with that. How are you in Florida and she's dealing with the pipes? He's a lucky guy. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.